Steve Kim for UCN Live. I'm here with Peter Nelson, the boxing czar of HBO Sports. Peter, what is it like now? Is your life any different being kind of the guy that's in charge now of HBO Sports?
Well, we have a tremendous team in place, and so for us it's about the continuation of the stories that we're telling about these fighters and their careers and what their aspirations are. And so for us it's just been great. The transition has been phenomenal, and we're really looking forward to big things in 2016.
As you were given this position, did you understand the responsibility that you have? And the bottom line is this: I think in a job like that, you can't please everybody. How much does that go through your mind?
Well, for us, HBO is a storytelling brand, and so it's about bringing the stories of these fighters to life and identifying the best talent that's out there and creating the authenticity of the competition itself. You know, boxing doesn't have a centralized league, but we really lean into what the fans have to say and what the media has to say in terms of shaping, as well as working with our promoter partners in terms of the structure of what our fight schedule looks like.
Well, Peter, you talk about the structure. There is a problem, I think, is a very fractured business. There is the PBC, there is other factions involved. How problematic is that element as you try to piece together fights?
Well, there's always challenges in boxing, and that's always been the case. But I think we feel really fortunate that some of the great talent that exists in the sport today, whether it's Manny Pacquiao, Tim Bradley in this fight, Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, Roman Gonzalez, Terence Crawford, Sergey Kovalev, that these are some of the brightest lights in boxing today, and it's a real privilege for us to be a part of it.
Here we are with Peter Nelson of HBO Sports, Steve Kim for UCN Live. Peter, as you take a look at the future of boxing, I asked this of Bob, I asked this of Todd DeBuff. Do you believe that with the advanced age of Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao, Vladimir Klitschko, do you think boxing right now is in a transition stage?
Critics make poor morticians, so a lot of times people have said that boxing is dead, and this goes back every single era as long as you can go back. And so I think the fans come to rally around a particular light, fighters who have earned their way into the fans' hearts and their respect. And I don't think that boxing is in any more transitionatory a position right now than in any other era. It's
Peter,
perennial.
You could argue, though, all those guys are 35 years old. I think they're headed towards the twilight. I don't want to bury them or be a mortician. But do you think that within your network, what you can control, would there be more of an emphasis on focusing in on the newer generation, such as Felix Verdejo?
Well, I think it's a wide array right now in terms of the talent that's out there. There are burgeoning talents like Verdejo. There are talents fighting with him, and Terence Crawford, who seem to be about to take the next step onto an even bigger stage, leaving Omaha and now fighting at Madison Square Garden. I think there are fighters like Gennady Golovkin who are in their early 30s but fight as if they're in their mid-20s. And then there are fighters like Canelo Alvarez, who has a large professional career, and he's just 25 years old at this point, so there's still a lot of room for growth.
Peter, you were one of the biggest advocates of Gennady Golovkin. You were instrumental in getting him on your network. He's become a staple of HBO Sports. How frustrated are you that it is hard to find him dance partners?
Well, it's always been the challenge with him, and the goal has always been to try to bring in as great a talent as possible to the network. And Gennady, whether he was that talent or not when we first brought him on the network, it was a test to see, was he really what people esteemed him to be? And it wasn't our creation by any means. That was his amateur career, 350 fights, his silver medal at the Olympics, his 10 years of toiling over in Germany and Europe. And it was an opportunity to see, was he able to hang with the level of competition here? And while it's been frustrating, I think, on their side in terms of trying to find dance partners from time to time, I think it's also been encouraging for them to know that the support is there from the fans, that as long as they go with the best man that they can possibly find to fight them, that he's then responsible for doing his job in the ring.
Peter, you're in the very early stages of your tenure here with your new gig. What's been the biggest challenge thus far?
Really, for us, it's a job that we collectively perform as a team. So in terms of all of our executives with whom I have the great privilege of working, we assemble a strategy that we've been able to hone, and as far as the programming that we put on the network, both boxing and other, it's been just a great company to work for in that respect, and that there's such tremendous talent at the executive level at HBO, and it's a real privilege for me to be a part of it there.
Peter, final question. Would you say that there's an emphasis on your part, or there should be, that when you deal with the promoters that are working with HBO, that there has to be a certain type of détente, that you cannot have the nature of fights as you did in the past, that everyone must work together towards a common goal?
I think cooperation in the sport always behooves the fans. And I think boxing is uniquely situated as a business where mutual business objectives sometimes are also misaligned in terms of trying to get the best fights done. But in efforts to try to do that to the best of our ability, we always try to broker those conversations. It's to the great benefit of the sport.
All right, Peter, best of luck. We'll be talking soon.
Thanks, sir.
Steve Kim for UCN Live.